Welcome to my YouTube site. This is Louise. Today we're going to do the copper bracelet, copper and silver. I do like the two together, and you'll find this one's a nice easy project. Let's get started. Straighten the wires. This is the way you do it with the cloth, and this is how you do it with the nylon pliers. I'm just putting this on the clamp because I can pull it a bit harder. Straighten all 5 wires and then put them in the clamp. If you haven't got a clamp, don't need to put it in. Take the 0.4mm wire and on the first wire wrap around 3 times. I do find that if I write the size of the wire on the plastic bobbin, it makes life a lot easier later on. Now move over to the next wire and wrap around 3 times again. By the way, don't clean your fire out before filming. You can't get the soot off your hands. Move to your next wire, wrap around 3 times and then continue till you've wrapped around all 5 wires. Push down the wires with your nylon pliers, or put some pliers with some masking tape and push it down, or put your pliers with your cloth and push it down that way, making sure they're all nice and firm. Now go into your second wire, not your first wire, go into your second wire and come through and wrap round that second wire 3 times. Repeat as you did on your first line, doing every single wire, wrapping round 3 times. Be careful of the tail so you don't catch it into your work. Miss the first wire, move to the second wire, wrap around 3 times and repeat to the end. Continue until you get your desired length. I went to about 15 centimeters. This is how you would do it if you were doing it by hand if you hadn't got a clamp. find that it's getting a bit too long on the clamp, you can take it out and drop it down so you've got a shorter bit to work with. Now that it measures 15 centimeters, what I do is with my nylon pliers, I go down straightening and making sure that it's pretty even. Don't over fiddle, because the more you fiddle, the worse sometimes you can make it. Now with the one wire at the end, bend over. Make sure it is 90 degrees. Cut the tail. Make sure that the tail end is not catching, so it's tucked in nice and neatly. Now bend all the wires down over the wire that you have just bent. Cut any excess wire. Make sure the wire is tucked in nice and neatly and tightly. Be careful if you're using pliers that have not got a nylon tip that they don't scratch the metal. Repeat until all the wires are tucked in nice and neatly all the way across. Now, with that wire that is sticking out the end, tuck it nice underneath so it's inside where the other wires are tucked. Do the other side exactly the same. Dip into the water and then into the baking powder. This is where it becomes interesting. The reason why we've got the baking powder is that with the super glue it dries a lot quicker, because you don't really want the super glue going into the catch. Make sure that you don't have too much baking powder all over the place, because it gets a bit difficult to get it off. Put the clamp on and squeeze it. Make sure it's nice and firm. Get your super glue and just a few dots. Put a little bit, don't put too much on. Definitely make sure it's a small amount. While it is drying, keep wiggling it so that you make sure that it's not getting into the catch. Do the other side exactly the same. Bend round the glass, making sure it's the right way. Shape nicely till you've got the right shape. Remove any excess baking powder or glue where you don't want it while it's still slightly damp. It is now finished.